We made it to the mountain. After 3 weeks in Bulgaria looking at Vitosha mountain literally every time we stepped outside, we finally made our way to one of the hiking trails. And this journey had a hidden gem along the way that was even more breathtaking than our destination. Let's check it out. So we had been staying in Sofia for a while, and this mountain is super close to the city, like literally right next to it. You can actually even take the city's public transit to get there, although we ended up taking a taxi to get there faster and beat the afternoon heat. The start of the journey was somewhat confusing. There was a sign that seemed to indicate multiple routes, including one that you should avoid, but at one point we couldn't figure out whether we were actually on the right path. Also, whoever made this icon must have had a lot of fun with it.
All right, it's like 8 a.m. We are hiking to Boyana Waterfall on Vitosha Mountain, just outside the city. I have no idea how long it's gonna take to get there. We couldn't read the signs. We don't know which way is the easy way versus the hard way. So we're just kind of winging it. Hopefully we get there. Got plenty of water.
Once we got on the actual trail, the beginning of the hike was quite peaceful. We didn't see a single person, so the only sounds we heard for a while came from our footsteps and from this little river. I'm guessing this is actually downstream of the waterfall we were heading to. After about 20 minutes, the trail started getting a little less smooth and a little less dry. Nothing too bad though, as long as you don't mind your shoes getting a little wet.
Lexi, how do you feel about the trail so far?
It's muddy.
You not like it?
No.
Not as good as Montreal?
No.
Well, I think it'll be beautiful when we get there. We'll see. Hopefully we'll have a view of the city. I'm not actually sure if you can see the city from the waterfall. I guess we'll find out. It's a little slippery. Yeah, lots of kind of muddy areas in the path. We're about 30 minutes in. I am not in hiking shape at all. I think I'm gonna take a little break.
I'm really glad we powered through the next few minutes because we quickly reached the perfect spot for a break, Boyana Lake. And this spot was gorgeous. The water was very still, so you got that picture-perfect reflection of trees mirrored onto the water. There were also some little flowers and even a few frogs. After admiring the lake for a little while, we continued the journey up the mountain, having no idea how far we actually were from Boyana Waterfall.
It is getting quite a bit steeper in this area. And there's no more signs. Hopefully we're still on an actual trail. Well, at least it's not super hot. The weather app says it's 71 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's probably even cooler up here in the mountains, surrounded by trees. We almost came here on a day it was gonna be like 96 degrees. I'll take 70 degrees over 96 any day. We just got to this big rock behind me, and from here, let me get up here. There's a beautiful view of the city. So pretty. Also, we are the only people here. It's so nice that it's not super crowded. We have this entire place to ourselves.
We had no idea this lookout point existed, and I'm really glad we noticed this and went off the path a bit because this was the best part of the hike. Aside from having a panoramic view of the city, you can also see so much green all at once. Go ahead and click that like button if you enjoy scenery like this. Also, a note from the future, I'm actually recording the talking part of this video 2 months later, and I've been to 5 countries since I arrived in Bulgaria, but this spot on Vitosha mountain, like this exact rock, has got to be one of my favorite places I've been throughout this entire journey. It's absolutely breathtaking, and the videos really don't do it justice. But we tried our best to get some good photos. It was tough leaving that spot. Like, I probably could have sat there all day. But we still had a waterfall to see.
Ooh, it's getting real rocky over here. This is gonna be fun.
The rest of the journey was a lot less smooth. The big rocks covering the path weren't too bad, but there were also some spots that had a lot of really tiny rocks, making the path kind of slippery. I was also really out of breath at this point. I can probably paint a very different picture by just turning down the music and playing the actual audio.
We must be getting pretty close. I can hear the waterfall. I am exhausted. Lexi is way ahead of me. Almost there, hopefully. So now we gotta go downhill a bit to get to the waterfall. Some of this terrain is a little slippery going down. Slipped on some rocks and fell. Hurt my foot a tiny bit, not too bad though. Hopefully no more injuries. And we're here! We made it to Boyana Waterfall. We did it! That was tough. I am not in hiking shape. It is, let's see what time it is. It is 10:18. Took us like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
And a lot of photos.
A lot of photos, a lot of stopping at the lake and the rock and stuff.
And let me tell you, it was great to finally get there. The waterfall was really pretty. I mean, I guess it doesn't really stand out from most other waterfalls I've seen, but still, who could complain about seeing this? Coming all the way here was totally worth it. There was also this path of sparse rocks that could get you to the other side of the waterfall. Lexi got across pretty easily, but me, not so much.
So I just walked across all these rocks. It doesn't look like much in the video, but I am very uncoordinated and it was quite challenging. I am bad at this.
Once I got across though, it was cool seeing the waterfall from another angle. We stayed here for a while, just kind of taking it all in, until we saw something that we hadn't seen yet that day. People! I was starting to think we were the only ones on the mountain, but it looked like there was a group a bit behind us. The journey down the mountain was even prettier than going up. We stopped at our favorite spot once again, and this time it looked even better with the sun higher in the sky.
This is one of the prettiest areas I've ever been to on a hike. It's so cool seeing all the trees, seeing a view of the city. It's very beautiful.
Even though we already did a little photo shoot here earlier, we couldn't resist doing another one. Okay, seriously, I know the lake and the waterfall get all the glory, but this rocky lookout area is easily the best part of the hike. Like, I'd hike up this mountain again just to come here.
So I think I'm actually faster at going up than down. Going down, it's quite steep and there's a lot of little rocks and pine cones and stuff to slip on. I already slipped once, trying not to do it again. Not a whole lot to grab onto either. There's no railings or anything. There's tree branches occasionally. Those are helpful. Although I think we're almost at the bottom now. Can't wait to get some food.
We stopped back at Boyana Lake again, and this part actually looked better in the morning. In the afternoon, it just kind of looked brown and less reflective. It did make me ponder something though.
So we're back at the little lake, and I just realized I have no idea the difference between a pond and a lake, because I always thought a pond was just like a super small body of water, but all the signs are calling this a lake, and it's really small. You could probably walk around this whole thing in like 5 minutes. So, I don't know. So we made it to the bottom. We made it.
Land ho!
All together, from start to finish, not including the ride to the trail. Took about 5 hours and 15 minutes. So, not a bad way to spend a morning. A lot of photos. A lot of really pretty photos. A lot of good videos.
Even though we said we'd take public transit back to the city, we were exhausted. So we just took another taxi and then rewarded ourselves with McDonald's. Hey, don't judge, okay? I know this seems like nothing special, but it's so much better than the crap they try to pass off as food in the US. But that's a topic for another video, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.